Lucid presents.
Welcome to Lucid Presents. Today we are doing a review of Don't Go In There by Road to Infamy Games. This is their newest game, which is going to be on Kickstarter October 4th, I believe. And this is a print and play copy that I made myself. They do have it that anybody can print off just to try out. So anything here, just keep in mind it is all a work in progress. Some of this is artwork that may be pretty finalized, other parts not so much. And then also there's obviously the components that I'm using from just the regular dice and meeples, where theirs are going to be a little bit nicer. They're going to have special ghost dice that glow in the dark, and their meeples are going to be custom meeples as well. So just keep that in mind for anything that you see on my table here, that it is all a print and play version. You'll also see most of my cards have this little white line on the back, just because my printer did not want to line those up correctly. However, so this is a 2 to 4 player game that is pretty fun, and it's pretty quick. So me and Ashley played. Our first game took about 25-30 minutes with the teach. She had not played before. Our second game only took us 15 minutes, so it's a pretty quick game. The whole backstory of it is that you were some meddling kids. You broke into a haunted house to poke around, and turns out that you started messing with some things that you shouldn't have. So now you're all getting cursed by the cursed relics and objects that are in this house. So the whole point of the game is to make it back out of the house with having the fewest amount of curses. Now you're going to do that by going into different locations, collecting certain things, and when you collect them, that's where the set destruction comes in, because once you collect so many, you can dispel them and get rid of them, and you're no longer cursed, or it might let you do some other effects. It all just kind of depends on what you use. So just looking at above, so I already have this set up as if we were playing a 3-player game here. The first thing to know is you have the 3 locations, which is the basement, the hallway, and then the attic. On these locations, you'll see there's different places that you can go. The deeper in you go, the better choice you're going to get of which card and relic you want to pick. However, it's also a better chance that you are going to get haunted by some ghosts. Now, the next thing you're going to have, typically, you would have all your decks set up on the top, so you kind of go through and pick them out. I only have 5 decks printed out total, because that's how many you need to play the game. However, the actual game is going to have more. I believe at one point they had 8 made up, maybe 7, but we'll see. Maybe that'll be a stretch goal or something where they add in a few more. But once you get your cards all dealt up, you make your deck. You deal out 3 cards to each location, as you can see that I have set up here. Each person is going to get a haunted card, which that comes into play at the end of the game to let you know how many extra curses you're going to get from the ghosts that decide to haunt you. And then each player also gets 5 of their meeples. Then you will have your ghost dice. Again, I just have regular dice. And then you have your ghost tokens. And then there are your 1s, your 5s, and your 10s. As you move up, the 5s look a little more menacing than the 1s, and the 10s look extra spooky. They look a little bit more like demons because they got horns and whatnot on them. Now, the way that you play around is you go around and you put your bets down on how far, as I said, you want to go into the location. Now, the further in you go, the better chances you have of getting which card you want. However, there's little green cubes there, which is to represent the ghost dice. What that means is when you have to roll, that you are going to then have to activate that many dice. So we'll just say that we've gone around a few times and people have started placing their parts on different things, and then whenever you get to the 3rd placement, that is when, in this case, that last person then activates that room by rolling the ghost dice. So we'll say red went last there. Red would roll the ghost dice, and you see how many ghosts you get. Now, the way that this is played is anything 4 and up is a ghost. So I rolled that those would be 2 blanks, and the 4 and 6 would be 2 ghosts. So the ghosts, now what happens here are blue player, he went all the way in. So this has 5 cubes, which means I have to activate all 5 of those dice. That means that I would say, okay, 1, 2, 3 with no ghosts, but unfortunately there's still 2 that have it. That means that I'm going to get 2 ghost tokens because I went way in, so now I have ghosts attacking me. And haunting me, I should say. Then red player goes next. Now he got a little, he played a little safer. He still has to activate 3. Luckily for him, there's 3 blanks, so he doesn't have to bother them. He gets nothing. Yellow played it the safest. They only have to activate 2 dice. They also are completely safe and don't get any ghosts. Now that happens, this is where blue player gets to pay off, because now he gets his first pick out of these cards, and he's probably going to want to pick one that has a lower curse number, but it all depends on what he's trying to get for his sets. So we'll say he picks this amulet. Now the amulet says when you collect 3 of these, dispel 3 amulets, or dispel 1 amulet if a rival also has 3. So that'll come into play later. But what I want you to see on these cards is that little monkey hand up in the corner with the 1 on it. That's to let you know that is worth 1 curse at the end of the game. Now the other amulet also happens to be a 1, so that player would have gotten lucky. And then the cat happens to be a 2, so that person would get 2 curses if they don't get enough cats in order to dispel that card. As soon as that is done, 3 more cards come out of the deck and replace that, and you play until this deck is completely gone and all of the cards have been taken. So you have to be very mindful of where you're going. I'm sorry, once you complete that, you all take your meeples back from that activated location. And that is basically how you play. So you just have to go through, you have to kind of play strategically to make sure you don't get enough curses. You can kind of stop other people if you see what they're going to get, and you maybe take something that gives you 1 or 2 curses, but in the end it's going to make them keep more cards than what they would have normally wanted. So overall, I really enjoy this game. I love that it's quick to play, easy to teach. The theme's pretty cool. The artwork so far is really amazing. Again, this, I think what I have here is pretty much the end artwork. Maybe the activations and the effects might still change a little bit, but the artwork I think is what they're going with, and I really like it. It's got kind of a little bit of a younger, more adolescent look to it, so it's something that you could play with kids as well. Hopefully they wouldn't be too creeped out by the theme, but it's a lot of fun. Like I said, it's one that I can't wait to teach other people with Halloween coming up here soon. And we'll definitely try out this print and play version with them. And also, if anybody at home wants to play this game out too, let me know in the comments. I will definitely, we can definitely set up a time that I will play this game with you. I'll teach you, I'll play you, everything. It's a lot of fun. I'm really excited to see what else is coming out with this game, and what stretch goals and what the campaign looks like. One thing that I didn't mention yet, they are also going to have, the first to my knowledge, the game box is going to also be a dice tower. So when you pull everything out, the game box like flips up and then you drop the dice in. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it looks cool. And you can definitely check that out on their Kickstarter page and see what you think. Also, like I said, glow-in-the-dark ghost dice, those are going to be cool too, and custom meeples. So with that has been the review on Don't Go In There. Me and Ashley will be playing a playthrough video, which we will get up soon. If you want to check that out, just check back. We'll try and get that up as soon as we can. And as always, leave us some comments if you have any questions about the game, and as long as I can, I'll be happy to answer them. Until next time, this has been OmniLucid Presents Don't Go In There by Road to Infamy Games. Have a good one, everyone.